Did you know Judge Fein said Melly deserves to be released before trial begins? It was announced Melly's lawyer, Raven Liberty, filed a second motion for pretrial release following mistrial on Friday afternoon, March 28th. With the Broward County clerk, the 9-page document claims that given the excessive delays, misconduct, harsh jail conditions, and lack of proven guilt, Melly requests release with reasonable conditions to ensure his appearance at trial. But Melly's lawyers responded, the motion argues that Florida law allows pretrial release in capital cases unless the state proves guilt is evident and the presumption of guilt is great, something it failed to do in the first trial. This is when the prosecutors gave reasons not to have Melly released from jail. A Rogo Block member snitched on Melly. He revealed Melly's motive to commit the crime was not wanting to share finances with the other YNW members.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
This was supposed to be a secret that Melly told King Vaughn. Sadly, Vaughn shared it with O-Block members before passing away. As YNW is a registered business, Melly and Bortlen performed concerts, sold merchandise, and did promotions for companies in exchange for money. However, Sack Chaser and Juvie wanted a cut of the money but did zero work for it. But if you know about King Vaughn's past and how he handled situations, you can guess how Vaughn would have told Melly to handle it. Pair this with evidence found on Melly's phone, and it gets bad. He sent a text message hours after the crime, admitting to it.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also found on Melly's phone was a saved video from someone's Facebook Live. It shows Melly and Bortlen's reaction to the crime only 6 hours after it was done.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turn, regardless of what happened. You already know.
Showing not an ounce of sadness for the passing of the two best friends. The lead prosecutor would then dive deep into the physical evidence of the crime, like the Jeep they were driving in. As during the original trial, Sergeant Williams revealed there was no way this could have been a drive-by.
How many rounds were inside the car?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that come from?
Driver's side back seat.
Oh.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here. The at a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
With Williams revealing the crime must have happened inside of the vehicle during the Melly trial, we then saw Juvie's mother go on the stand and share who was sitting there.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
It was then Melly's lawyers' turn to prove why he should be released, telling the newly added Judge Fein that in the original trial, there was never a firearm found.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
while also sharing GPS evidence from when the crime was going down that he was running away down the street.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot them. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, there's some, I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
While the judge read the release evidence over, he would allow Melly's ex-girlfriend to be free. A viral tweet shared, Judge Fein confirms Melly should be allowed a chance of a bond release till trial begins, stating he's been sitting in jail for several years without a conviction. It's just not right. As Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah acknowledged her family and friends who supported her while detained on February 9th. The post reads, "And to my village, thank you. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." She allegedly didn't like how this was broadcasted on the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But did you know this worked out for Melly? It was reported. Melly has to make an informed decision about who he wants as lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days, leaving everyone, including Melly, surprised.
No, but let me repeat myself. Mr. Demons has to make an informed decision about who he wants as lawyers. He's now been sitting in our jail for 2,159 days. So, how long would you like to be able to make that decision?
I can't determine when the investigation will be over. That's up to the Broward Sheriff's Office, but I can, as I said, I'm just asking for a week. And then I'm asking for at least a day or two.
Can you decide by tomorrow? I've also reserved all of tomorrow.
The judge couldn't believe Melly's been sitting in jail for so long. He straight up said, "Give us your final reasoning why he shouldn't be free by tomorrow, or I'm releasing him on bond." This is when the prosecutors did the worst thing imaginable, forcing Bortlen to snitch against Melly, as the prosecutors are now sending in paperwork to have Bortlen and Melly tried together for one specific reason.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking the penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
It's common sense if Bortlen knows he didn't commit this serious crime. He won't be able to just take life in prison, making it likely he will point the finger against Melly. What you didn't know is that Melly's lawyer already tried pinning this against Bortlen in the first trial.
Those were his lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Revealing that it's always been Bortlen that has been telling lies to the feds. He's the one with the powder on his hand. And he was the one that was with Juvie and Sack Chaser when they passed. Even bringing up a forensic scientist that covered the passings. Go into further detail on Bortlen having powder on his hands.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained two component particles, and the left hand contained one particle characteristic of residue and one two-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was residue present on the hands.
Bortlen didn't like this at all. This is why when Melly's mistrial was granted, a report shared, Bortlen tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared. The tweet shares, "Mind games don't work on people like me," alongside a handshake emoji, as if he's accepting some sort of deal. However, this is only the start of Melly's recent problems. Did you know it was announced that Melly's mom trends after she started a fans account while he stands trial? She was then featured in an interview, speaking on why she did it and how much she's made.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and you know, I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This took the internet by storm. Even DJ Academics had to say this.
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's gonna be starting the old. And I gotta be honest with y'all, man, like, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, you know, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
While DJ Academics claims it's not about money, social media would disagree, as a No Jumper interview from 2 years ago with Adam, B Slime, and Jamie King would show Adam telling Melly's mother he imagines Melly has spent a lot of money on lawyers. She sits back laughing, but B Slime calls out Melly's dumb purchases.
I would assume
but it's still,
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry and you're not here to wear the jewelry?
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But
Yeah.
he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want the chain no more.
It's important to note what Jamie King's been going through, while starting a fans account could also be an outlet for her to get her mind off Melly's trial. We all saw during the original trial that Melly had to ask if she was okay several times.
Sorry.
You'll just don't do it.
But did you know Melly's financial issues are going to get worse? They found disturbing evidence in Mariah's iCloud account relating to Melly forcing her not to testify in the trial, which is known as witness tampering. This carries a life sentence in prison regardless of whether Melly took out Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering case would be separate from his existing case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing, which means more lawyer fees. However, the feds begin their investigation on Mariah after people in Melly's hometown began speaking a lot about Mariah's involvement in this crime. This resulted in Juvie's father starting to do his own investigating. He asked around town, speaking with people from all areas. He learned the code words that Melly used against Mariah to make her not testify against him in trial.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, try to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
if found guilty, Melly will be sentenced to life inside a prison for the witness tampering charges alone. Due to his witness tampering with the jail phones, Melly hasn't been allowed to use a phone for several months. It got so bad that his mother, Jamie King, even did an interview, exposing the county jail for not allowing Melly to use a phone or even look at his mail.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
But if the evidence is true that Melly's been using the jail phones to commit witness tampering, that's why they've not allowed him. They must have evidence stored away until the trial starts, because they wouldn't keep him off if it was just a hunch. Due to this, Jamie King would reveal that she feels heartbroken for her son. She feels helpless, as he's not even being treated as a human in jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We've tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
This, however, got a lot of media attention, especially from industry people. As Charleston White reacted to this sharing, this is what Melly should be living like. He shouldn't get special treatment.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
This would get the attention of Boozy, who would speak on the stress Jamie King's been going through.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him. Cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.